What's up, YouTube? It's Tokyo TZ TV. You see the title, you know what I will be talking about today. But before we get to that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I ask you to do this because it helps get eyes to the channel. It helps people see it. It helps the algorithm actually help people follow me. So make sure you do that, please. I appreciate it and thank you. Now you see what I'm talking about. Game and takes on Twitter are terrible and they all for nothing, and I mean it. And this is why I think that. See, Twitter is a beautiful place, man. Sometimes it's an awful place a lot of the time, but Twitter has a whole bunch of communities that a lot of people can go to. If you're a film fan, you can find that community where you can talk about the newest releases, talk about the newest drama with actors and shit like that. If you into shit like that, which a lot of people are, because they love celebrities but they hate them at the same time. It's a weird type. It's weird, you know. And if you're into music, you can talk about the newest releases, talk about, you know, classic albums, you know, give suggestions for people to listen to and shit like that, you know. And you can even share your music and shit like that and get a pretty big following. You see rappers like Lil Nas X, who started off as a Nicki Minaj fan, you know, super fan, you know, and now he's a big star, Old Town Road and shit like that. You know, he's twerking on the devil, you know, popping this bussy and shit on the devil. So yeah, you have a whole bunch of communities that you can go to depending on what, you know, form of entertainment that you're into. And I'm into all those types of entertainment, but I'm mainly a gamer. I play a lot of games. I play Valorant pretty much every fucking day. You know, some days I have a 22-17 game with rain and I'm feeling fucking awesome, but the same day or the next game I have a 6-17 game with fucking Omen or some shit, man. It's so inconsistent, but you know what it means. But like I said, I am a gamer and I usually go for the game it takes. You know, sometimes you got people like Jason Schreier, you know, getting the big devs angry and butthurt, you know, because from the finance that he found. And he's a big journalist and everybody goes to him for like all the new, you know, corruption in the gaming industry and shit like that. And a lot of regular people don't like him too, so he's like a mixed bag. You have the esports players, the simples, the ninjas, and the Sinatras. We're not going to talk about it. You had a Twitch stream, it's like Summon1G, and you had those type of guys, you know, who have a big following. Sometimes they have game it takes about the new, you know, hottest Twitch game that everybody's playing right now. And people go there to talk to them and get in those communities too. But the people I mainly watch are the small guys, the people 10,000 YouTube subscribers and shit like that, you know, sometimes with 1,000 Twitter followers or sometimes shit even 500. Those are the people that you get the most entertaining shit out of in the game and Twitter space, and that's the people I watch the most. That's the people I like to, you know, see talk about shit. But they also say a whole bunch of dumb shit too. Now I'm not putting all the bad Twitter takes on them, because like I said, the journalists, the esports and Twitch guys, and even the small guys that I talk about and I love to watch they, you know, page, they all have bad gaming takes. I say this because people on Twitter, you know, they love to, you know, when the hottest topic about gaming come out, or the newest hottest game come out and it gets, you know, Metacritic or even, you know, just discussions about it. They just want to have discussions about it. They love to be the first one to come out with a take. My problem is when they do come out with a take, they don't detail shit. So now, for example, Cyberpunk came out. We all know it was a shit show. We all know it had bugs, the performances, all that shit, the performance problems, you know, the bugs and shit like that. When I got it, you know, I enjoyed it a lot. You know, I put, I say 40 hours in it into the first week of playing that game. I was enjoying it, but then I decided to drop it to where they fixed the game, until they fixed the game. And it's big patch to drop, but it's still not to my liking, so I'm not playing that yet. But you had people, it was this one guy that I follow, man. He was, he every day, every goddamn hour, every second, this nigga had something to say about it, right? And it would be perfectly fine if he actually gave details. For example, he said games 10 years ago did shit better than Cyberpunk, right? And there was a lot of people agreeing with him, right? And my problem with that is, how can you agree with something that he's not giving examples? You know how many games came out 10 years ago? That could be possible that what he's saying is right, but he doesn't give examples. And that's what a lot of people do on Twitter. They don't give examples of what they're talking about. It's just a take. They don't give a fuck. You know why? Because they want impressions. They want people to follow them. They want people to like them. Like you see some Xbox, or you see fanboys, no matter if it's PlayStation, Xbox, PC, they say some shit. Like, let's say an Xbox fanboy, he'd be like, man, Xbox been dropping exclusive bangers for the last 5 years, and we all know that's not true. We all know it's not true, but guess what? It gets a lot of impressions. He gets a lot of new followers from it, and then he goes on a spree of writing tweets like that. having a whole bunch of, you know, pro Xbox takes and shit like that. And this is just an example of what I think the problem with people on Twitter, no matter if they're small, big, once they find something or find a take that gets them the impressions that they want, because everybody do it for impressions, right? They're going to say that repeatedly without giving any details. Like I learned in this training that I did. When you go to a job interview, if you say, yeah, I work this place and I did this at my job, for example, you always give examples of what you did. That's how I see it. If you want to put a gaming tweak on Twitter, like me, I don't like The Last of Us 2 stealth mechanics, because I think in The Last of Us 2, materials is such a big part, and scavenging shit is such a big part of the game, that you can't just go for that perfect stealth run of just going past everybody and just leaving a room. No, you have to search that whole room, or you're missing out on a whole bunch of materials, and you won't upgrade your weapons like that. That's the problem with The Last of Us. I like stealth games where you just have to stealth it. You just have to stealth it. You don't have to have a bunch of materials that you have to find for. That's the problem that I have with The Last of Us 2 stealth mechanics. I don't find it fun. At least part, I played completely stealth most of the time. I didn't use my weapons, and it was fucking boring. I went to Abby and I just went balls to the wall, and I had the most fun I ever had in that. And if somebody would have asked me, I would have gave that take on Twitter. I would have gave them examples if I would have wrote that on Twitter. But people that said but this what you see a lot on Twitter. The Last of Us 2 is dog shit. And that's it. That's all they got to say. They're not giving you examples why it's dog shit. They're not giving you games. They're not giving you games that did better than The Last of Us in stealth, or had better mechanics than The Last of Us, or had better fucking graphics. They're not giving it. They're just saying it's dog shit. There's nothing. They're not giving anything that a normal person that doesn't know them can be like, okay, I can see where this guy's coming from. Take after take for impressions, for new followers, you know, to build their brand or some shit like that. A lot of them do that shit and they don't even get no followers. It's hate, but sometimes they get addicted to the hate too, you know? You hear the problem I have with it. I just want people to, if they really want to help the game community, help people get into it, and help people understand how to analyze games. I'm still learning. I'm still watching a whole bunch of documentaries and you know, analysis videos, so I can learn, because I want to get into that lane too. If you actually want to do that, bro, you have to give people details. You have to give people examples. You have to show that you actually care, and you're not doing it just for, you know, a quick couple 100 followers off a bad game intake, you know? I mean, show some heart for it, you know, show some love for it if you actually care about it, you know? But you see a lot of people who have big followings who don't play games at all. So if you check their goddamn Steam account, their PlayStation account, their Xbox account, you know, you check their trophies and shit, you know, they barely play games. So, and those people are the ones who still get a lot of impressions. But all I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna keep rambling. Just do better, man. Just details. Details is all I ask for. Examples is all I ask for. If you say Skyrim is trash, can you please tell me why? That's all I'm asking for, man. And I think that's what a lot of people ask for too, because that's why you see a lot of fucking console wars and a whole bunch of, you know, people arguing with each other because they don't know how to win a battle, as far as like giving out examples. And if you really want to win it, have a fucking perfect game and give them examples and give them details and see if they can come up with some shit to, you know, rebuttal that shit. And a lot of times you'll win, but a lot of people, they don't care. They just spitting nonsense. But it's Tokyo TZ TV. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know the algorithm and shit. That's how it helps me. Let me know what you think about it. Tell me your ideas about the game it takes. Tell me why you like it. Tell me why you love it. Tell me if you don't care at all. Tokyo TZ, I'm out. Peace.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.